pala kong ring yung ano eh, yung branch in-order ko sa inyo.
Salamat.
Tatlo pala yun.
Ay, hindi ko natanong ko, ano kayang, ano yung in-order, ano yung flavor niya?
Sorry, Angus.
Sarap siya. Kahapon to, 22. Hindi ba lang ulit? Lako, Harry Roque, ang unang-una.
Sa mga hanggang na yan, 5 o'clock.
Oo, maganda naman.
Defensor, tea, pimentel, ano. Di kayo na? O, kayo na ba? Na? You're okay? In good shape? Yeah. Kaya na, thank you.
Defer pa rin kong ring na ano. Na walang...
Defer journal. Proceed with reference of your friends business. Ano siya? May kulay pa.
Yung ilalim lang. So, hindi niya rin mako-confirm or deny.
The session is now called to order. Everybody is requested to rise for the singing of the Philippine National Anthem.
Bayang magiliw, perlas ng silanganan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, buyan ka ng magiging, sa manlulupi, di ka pasisingil, sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong bahaw, ay nilang ang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kisap ng wataw at mo'y tagumpay na nagdidikit, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng waraming pagsikta, buhay ay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya na pag may mga apit, at mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Please remain standing for a minute of silent prayer. The Majority Floor Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we defer the calling of the roll.
Any objection? Here's none. The motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move for the deferment of the approval of the journal of the previous session.
Any objection? Here's none. The motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we now proceed with the reference of business and request that the Secretary General be directed to read the titles of the bills and resolutions on first reading, as well as communications and committee reports.
Any objection? Here's none. The Secretary General is directed to read the bills and reference of business for first reading.
Reference of business bills on first reading. House Bill 4408, creating an energy disaster trust fund. Representatives Orbareta and Batocabe.
To the Committee on Energy.
House Bill number 4409, converting the Buluan Sakpil Provincial Road. Representative Bulot Bigtan.
To the Committee on Public Works and Highways.
House Bill 4410, mandating the TESDA to include in its annual approved budget an allocation intended for trainings and programs. Representatives Paduano, Belmonte, and Crisologo.
To the Committee on Higher and Technical Education.
House Bill 4411, requiring hospitals and medical clinics to inform their patients of their right to buy drugs and medicines from outside. Representative Romero.
To the Committee on Health.
House Bill 4412, enhancing revenue administration and collection. Representative Gatchalian.
To the Committee on Ways and Means.
House Bill 4413, declaring May 14 every year National Day Against Homophobia and Transphobia. Representative Sarate.
To the Committee on Women and Gender Equality.
House Bill 4414, defining discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation and gender identity. Representative
To
Sarate.
the Committee on Women and Gender Equality.
House Bill 4415, recognizing and institutionalizing indigenous people's educational systems, Representative Bagilat.
To the Committee on Indigenous Cultural Communities and Indigenous Peoples.
House Bill 4416, promoting the well-being and health of the citizens through the creation of community fitness centers, Representative Abayon.
To the Committee on Health.
House Bill 4417, establishing a correctional nursery program in all correctional institutions for women, Representative Abayon.
To the Committee on Justice.
House Bill 4418, providing for free medicine and other basic medical supplies, Representative Abayon.
To the Committee on Health.
House Bill 4419, prohibiting the government from allowing any non-government entity from occupying any building, office, or other premises, Representative Abayon.
To the Committee on Civil Service and Professional Regulation.
House Bill 4420, lifting the height restrictions for applicants to the AFP, Representative Abayon.
To the Committee on National Defense and Security.
House Bill 4421, prohibiting profiteering and fraud relating to military action, relief, and reconstruction efforts, Representative
To the
Abayon.
Committee on National Defense and Security.
House Bill 4422, promoting urban farming, Representative Abayon.
To the Committee on Agriculture and Food.
House Bill 4423, granting tax incentives to corporations, partnerships, organizations, and other juridical entities for using and promoting the use of environment-friendly bags, Representative Abayon.
To the Committee on Ways and Means.
House Bill 4424, establishing a national flood research and education consortium, Representative Abayon.
To the Committee on Public Works and Highways.
House Bill 4425, making automated teller machines accessible to the visually impaired, Representative Abayon.
To the Committee on Banks and Financial Intermediaries.
House Bill 4426, establishing national cemeteries, Representative
To
Abayon.
the Committee on Public Works and Highways.
House Bill 4427, amending EO 292, Representative
To
Abayon.
the Committee on National Defense and Security.
House Bill 4428, establishing and maintaining the Office of Veterans Affairs, Representative Abayon.
To the Committee on Foreign Affairs.
House Bill 4429, amending Republic Act Number 6981, Representative
To
Abayon.
the Committee on Justice.
House Bill 4430, requiring that a tree be planted for every child born in the Philippines, Representative
To
Abayon.
the Special Committee on Reforestation.
House Bill 4431, amending Section 385 of Presidential Decree 1460, Representative Abayon.
To the Committee on Banks and Financial Intermediaries.
House Bill 4432, providing for the development of a curriculum for training programs of public sector employees, Representative Abayon.
To the Committee on Civil Service and Professional Regulation.
House Bill 4433, penalizing the charging of taxi fares which are higher than the official rates, Representative Abayon.
To the Committee on Transportation.
House Bill 4434, increasing the bed capacity for tertiary general health care, Representative
To
Malapitan.
the Committee on Health.
House Bill 4435, upgrading the Jose R. Reyes Memorial Medical Center, Representatives Nieto, Maceda, Tan, and several others.
To the Committee on Health.
House Bill 4436, increasing the penalty for the detention of patients in hospitals and medical clinics, Representative Antonio.
To the Committee on Health.
House Bill 4434, providing tax incentives to individuals and corporations giving donations, contributions, and grants to Filipino performers, Representative Antonio.
To the Committee on Ways and Means.
House Bill 4438, an act for the stewardship and conservation of built cultural heritage, Representative Sabeliano.
To the Committee on Basic Education and Culture.
House Bill 4439, changing the name of the Malita District Hospital, Representative Bautista Bandigan.
To the Committee on Health.
House Bill 4440, increasing the authorized bed capacity of the Chica District Hospital, Representatives Bautista Bandigan.
To the Committee on Health.
House Bill 4441 and 4442, separating converting certain school annexes, Representative Uil Rolando.
To the Committee on Basic Education and Culture.
House Bill 4443, expanding the liabilities of indirect employers in job contracting, Representatives Nieto, Maceda, several others.
To the Committee on Labor and Employment.
House Bill 4444, strengthening workers' rights, Representative Mendoza.
To the Committee on Labor and Employment.
House Bill 4445, granting cooperative member workers the right to self-organization, Representative
To
Mendoza.
the Committee on Labor and Employment.
House Bill 4446, establishing an efficient system to strengthen workers' rights, Representative Mendoza.
To the Committee on Labor and Employment.
House Bill 4447, strengthening the workers' right to strike, Representative
To the
Mendoza.
Committee on Labor and Employment.
House Bill 4448, allowing aliens to exercise their right to self-organization, Representative Mendoza.
To the Committee on Labor and Employment.
House Bill 4449, banning the importation, manufacture, processing, use, or distribution of in commerce of asbestos and asbestos-containing products, Representative
To
Mendoza.
the Committee on Health.
House Bill 4450, establishing the National Research, Development, and Extension Center for Banana, Representative Mendoza.
To the Committee on Agriculture and Food.
House Bill 4451, regulating the aerial spraying of pesticides and fungicides, Representative Mendoza.
To the Committee on Ecology.
House Bill 4452, providing incentives for the manufacture, assembly, conversion, and importation of electric, hybrid, and other alternative fuel vehicles, Yap Arthur.
To the Committee on Ecology.
House Bill 4453, 54, liberalizing the rice and corn industry, Representative Yap Arthur.
To the Committee on Agriculture and Food.
House Bill 4455 to 4461, establishing a multi-purpose marine hatchery in various municipalities of Iloilo, Representative Tupas.
To the Committee on Aquaculture and Fisheries Resources.
House Bill 4462, converting the government arsenal in Camp General Antonio Luna, Representative Garcia.
To the Committee on Economic Affairs and the Committee on Trade and Industries.
House Bill 4463, creating the Bataan High School for the Arts, Representative Garcia Jose.
To the Committee on Basic Education and Culture.
House Bill 4464, renewing the franchise granted to Subic Broadcasting Corporation, Representative Hernandez.
To the Committee on Legislative Franchises.
House Bill 4465, providing for the licensing control of dealers in second-hand goods, Representative Nieto Maceda, Laugan, several others.
To the Committee on Trade and Industry.
House Bill 4466, abolishing the road board, Go Ana Cristina.
To the Committee on Governmental Organization and the Committee on Public Works and Highways.
House Bill 4467, allocating 5% of the collections from the motor vehicle users charge to the DepEd, Go Ana Cristina.
To the Committee on Public Works and Highways.
House Bill 4468, amending Commonwealth Act Number 146, Representative Salceda.
To the Committee on Civil Service and Professional Regulation.
Communications letter dated September 7 of Attorney Sheila Uvilla, Regional Director, COA.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Letter dated November 4, 2016 of Tomas M. Rodriguez, Assistant Regional Director, DPWH.
To the Committee on Public Works and Highways.
Letter dated November 14 of Delpin N. Lorenzana, Secretary, DND.
To the Committee on National Defense and Security. The Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, may we recognize the guests of Representative Harry Roque of the Kabayan Party List. They are the widows and kin of the victims of the Maguindanao massacre electoral violence that happened 7 years ago. They are Zenaida Duhay, Juliet Evardo, Maria Cipriana Gatchalian, Glenna Legarta, Arlene Lupogan, Mary Jean Merisco, represented by her brother Bonifacio Mendez, Catherine Nunez, Noemi and Apple Joy Parcon, Mirna Reblando Jr., Ramonita Salaysay, Edita Tiamson, Erlin Umpad, Maria Charmaine Lechoncito.
Guests of Representative Harry Roque from Kabayan Party List, please rise. Welcome to the House of Representatives. The Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, with leave of the House, I move that we open the privilege hour.
Any objection? Here's none. The motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I now move that the gentleman from the Kabayan Party List, Honorable Harry Roque, be recognized for his privileged speech.
The Honorable Harry Roque from Party List Kabayan is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Majority Floor Leader. 7 years and still no justice. Esteemed colleagues of the House of Representatives, ladies and gentlemen, I rise before you today on a matter of personal and collective privilege. Exactly 7 years ago today, court records indicate that an entourage of 58 persons aboard a convoy of cars and vans were stopped by armed men at a police checkpoint in Caruan, Ampatuan, Maguindanao. They were then herded to a remote hill in Sitio Masalay, a few kilometers away. When they reached the forlorn hill, court records again indicate that the 58 captives met a gruesome death in the hands of a bloodthirsty band which witnesses identified as Dato Unsay Town Mayor Andal Ampatuan Jr., scion and namesake of the state-backed local despot Andal Ampatuan Sr., who in his time ruled Maguindanao with an iron fist. Of the 58 victims, 32 were journalists and media workers. The journalists and media workers joined the convoy to cover an entourage of women relatives of then Buluan Town Vice Mayor Ismael Mangundadatu and led by his wife, Jenalyn. The governor of Mangundadatu is the brother of our colleague, Congressman Mangundadatu of Maguindanao. They were on their way to the Commission on Elections office in Sharif Aguac to file the Vice Mayor's certificate of candidacy for provincial government. Evidence presented before the court would show that it was a grisly end for the convoy, put to a finish by the private army of strongman Andal Ampatuan Sr., whose son and namesake Dato Unsay Andal Jr. was also vying for the post and did not want to see a rival in the post in Maguindanao. Witnesses testified that most of the victims were thrown into nearby pits earlier dug, ostensibly for the purpose of a backhoe owned by the provincial government of Maguindanao. When police investigators finally reached the scene many hours later, they also found, buried with some of the victims in one of the pits, a couple of cars from the ill-fated convoy. Apparently, there had not been enough time for the murderous band to bury everything. A few bullet-riddled vans belonging to the convoy still stood near the pits, their doors open, mute witnesses to a carnage that could only have happened because the administration then helped maintain and arm a warlord family for its own political convenience. The killing of 32 journalists and media workers, including the relatives of our colleagues, was the worst single attack on press freedom in recorded history. It was also the worst spate of election-related violence in the Philippines since the martial law era. It also exposed the fractious nature of local politics cultivated by national leaders and the brazenness with which key members of the Ampatuan clan masterminded and carried out the massacre held unmistakably intimations of the power they wielded in the province, thanks to the rotten transactional ties that had the Hello Garces scandal written all over it. Today, 7 years later, justice remains elusive for the families of the Maguindanao massacre victims. Not a single perpetrator has been convicted in court for the grisly crime. As it stands, what has been called the trial of the century and a litmus test for the Philippine judicial system has become a slow-turning and protracted one, mostly because of many procedural mistakes that could have been avoided had authorities only listened to good advice. That and political machinations getting in the way of a strategic and rational approach to prosecution. Against such backdrop, the National Union of Journalists of the Philippines recently noted that the families of the massacre victims see their hopes that they will find a satisfactory closure to the case within their lifetimes dwindle rapidly. The NUJP further observes that such a solid state of the cause for justice fuels a situation of impunity in the country, where the state appears complicit by its failure to prosecute the killings of journalists, the incidence of which is one of the highest in the world. 7 years is a very long time. It is 1 year longer than a presidential term. It should have been good enough time to see an effort bloom or to show that a promise made is a promise fulfilled. We cannot say the same thing with the cause for justice and attribution of accountability for the Maguindanao massacre. Some 197 persons have been charged for the massacre, 4 have died. Of the principal suspects, 28 bore the surname Ampatuan. Of the remaining 193 accused, 112 are detained and facing trial before Judge Branch 221 of the Quezon City Regional Trial Court, presided by Judge Jocelyn Solis Reyes. 81 others have not been arrested, a situation that boggles the mind, considering that it has been 7 years since the massacre happened. The latest arrest of a massacre suspect was of Akad Makaton last September 3. Prior to Makaton, suspect Denga Mentol, also known as Tocario and Ronnie Ofong, was arrested on November 17, 2015. Victims were denied the satisfaction of seeing the mastermind, 74-year-old Andal Sr., being found guilty by the court of the charges, as the clan patriarch died of heart attack on July 17, 2015, while in detention. Until now, his family continues to swear by his innocence. Justice would have meant affording him from prosecution the chance to be confronted decisively with the evidence of his. Though he rode high on unprecedented goodwill among Filipino electorate, President Benigno Aquino III miserably failed to deliver the campaign promise to secure justice for the Maguindanao massacre victims. His Secretary of Justice, Laila de Lima, failed the demands of the sound administration of justice as the prosecution of this case was left to every whim and caprice of political interests that hijacked the good work of public prosecutors. To begin with, she failed to bring scientific rationality to case management, simply continuing the unwieldy system set in place by her predecessor. We could have learned from the practice of international criminal tribunals against the shotgun prosecution of so many accused, but she refused to take counsel. Worse, she allowed a private prosecutor, her classmate in law school, for considerations above which we do not know, to take over the role of an unaccountable prosecutor general, undermining every effort, so often the good judgment of the Department of Justice's own state prosecutors. As one of the lawyers for the families of the victims of the massacre, most of whom are represented today in this hall, we tried our best to advance their cause despite the many stumbling blocks along the way. An early setback to our quest for justice was the death of a key witness to the massacre, Suaib Upham, whose application into the Witness Protection Program we tried to facilitate. Upham, whom we called Jesse, was shot dead shortly after 8 p.m. on June 14, 2010 in Parang Municipality, Maguindanao, after waiting for months for the DOJ to admit him into the Witness Protection Program. A member of the Ampatuan's private army militia, Jesse testified that he was in fact recruited as a child soldier at the age of 7 and admitted that he participated in the massacre, but agreed to testify against the Ampatuans in exchange for government protection. He had agreed to testify against members of the powerful Ampatuan family who were accused of the killings for personal protection, a request that the DOJ, then under Agnes de Vinadera, simply sat on. Faced with the prospects of having to litigate the case for many, many years, I and my colleagues at the Center for International Law proposed that the trial court adopt the first-in, first-out rule. Under the FIFO, the court may already render judgment on the case of any accused over whom all evidence for and against has already been heard. The rationale is that the families of victims and the accused do not have to wait for the evidence concerning 197 accused to be heard by the court to achieve justice, which could take a very long time. This is the fair rule respecting due process for both the families of the victims and the accused. There is nothing in the rules that prohibits the trial court from moving, but there is every reason in the name of procedural and substantive due process for both the accused and the heirs of the victims of the Maguindanao massacre to finish the trial as soon as possible. The FIFO was meant to avoid constant recall to the witness stand of all witnesses already presented each time there is a newly arrested and newly arraigned accused. Assuming that each of the 103 unarrested accused claims the right to cross-examine their accusers one, by this measure, it would take a series of cross-examinations at least 200 years to complete. Indeed, none of the international tribunals of contemporary times, even for those cases of mass slaughter where the victims number by the hundreds, if not thousands, have resorted to wholesale prosecution of suspects. The trial court could just not appreciate our point. Secretary de Lima then's favorite private prosecutors did not join our motion. Worse, they even misread it and claimed that it was meant to give the accused an escape clause by instituting a system calculated to dilute the prosecution's case for murder. Mercifully, the Supreme Court subsequently adopted our proposal by issuing for the first time in our legal history a resolution to institutionalize it and to direct the trial court to implement it. With FIFO in place, and assuming that the trial court refuses to abide by the defense's dilatory tactics, we hope them to see convictions in the next 2 years. To stress, FIFO was not a government initiative. It is a measure proposed by civil society organizations, the Center for International Law. It was indeed supported by Deputy Regional Prosecutor Peter L. Medalye, then head of the prosecution panel, Senior State Assistant Prosecutor Maria Evilia L. Victorio, and Assistant State Prosecutor Susan Villanueva. They affixed their signatures to our motion to adopt FIFO for the first time in our legal history. We also filed cases with the Office of the Ombudsman against the Ampatuans clan's plunder of the public coffers of billions of pesos in their many years of murderous reign in political power, a plunder fully documented by the Commission on Audit. And yet, colleagues, Mr. Speaker, 6 years after we filed our complaints on behalf of our clients, we have yet to hear of any action from the Office of the Ombudsman, this despite that our evidence consists largely of COA reports. Also, we caught the Anti-Money Laundering Council doing nothing despite many years of voluminous bank transactions by the Ampatuans that should have been red flagged early on. Thus, we share in President Rodrigo Roa Duterte's own frustrations with the AMLAC's discharge of its duties and functions. May I remind our colleagues, that when AMLAC was being grilled in the plenary during the budget deliberations, AMLAC lied before Congress and said that they have fully cooperated with Secretary Vit Aguirre on the ongoing drug investigation. Apparently, until today, they have not done so. The only semblance of immediate justice we have managed to win for our clients under the circumstance is a decision by the National Police Commission last year to dismiss from the service 21 police officers linked to the massacre. Impunity continues because there have been no effective prosecution of the perpetrators. The Maguindanao massacre was notorious because evidence abound, and yet today no one has yet been proven to be guilty. If we are unable to accord justice to the 58 victims of the Maguindanao massacre, how can we expect to accord justice to the alleged 3,000 other individuals said to be victims of extralegal killings? It is tempting to say that a new task force on media security created by President Duterte to investigate the killings of journalists may go the way of all such task forces created by past administrations that have come and gone. But such is indeed the challenge to the Duterte administration. Effective remedy under the international law engages both the obligation to investigate as well as to bring perpetrators promptly to justice. Umaasa po kami na dahil naging piskal naman po ang ating presidente na napakatagal din, magkakaroon po ng solusyon dito sa napakadaming patayan at mukhang wala pong napaparusahan. The last thing we need today is yet another administrative monstrosity that does nothing but add yet another layer to an already complex and weighed down government investigative machinery. What should not be forgotten is that the Maguindanao massacre is a slaughter of civilians by state agents. Wala pong nasasakdal na hindi taong gobyerno. Meron pong gobernador, merong dating gobernador, mga mayor, mga vice mayor, mga pulis, mga CVOs. Lahat po sila taong gobyerno. Thus, it is a class of gross human rights violations for which the state must answer on top of the individual criminal responsibility of the perpetrators themselves. Under international law, the Republic of the Philippines has a duty to provide compensation and satisfaction to the victims and their families. According to international law, satisfaction covers public acknowledgement of the state's wrongdoings along with the concrete steps to repair the relationship between the victim and the state and civil society as a whole. It embraces symbolic measures taken for moral and collective reparation and arises, in part, from a duty to remember. This should include, first, verification of the facts, full public disclosure of the truth to the extent that such disclosure does not cause further unnecessary harm or threaten the safety of the victim, witnesses, or others. The search for bodies of those killed or disappeared and assistance in the identification and reburial of the bodies in accordance with the cultural practices of the families and the communities. Third, an official declaration or a judicial judgment restoring the dignity, reputation, legal and social rights of the victim and of persons closely associated with the victims. Fourth, an apology, including public acknowledgement of the facts and acceptance of responsibility. Fifth, judicial or administrative sanctions against persons responsible for violation of memory, commemoration and tributes to the victims, inclusion of an accurate account of the violations that have occurred in international human rights and humanitarian law training and in educational materials at all levels. And finally, preventing the recurrence of violations. Thus, at the very least, the state should institute a day of commemoration for the victims of the massacre and to expand the commemoration to embrace all other victims of extralegal killings. Today, we filed a House bill that would declare November 23 of every year as a day of remembrance for all victims of extralegal killings. But the state should not wait for the trial court to finish the murder case. It should already institute legal measures to ensure that the victims of the massacre are given reparations as a gesture recognizing its complicity in the killings as well as its firm resolve not to allow it to happen again. We hope the administration of President Duterte will succeed where past administrations failed, that is, to provide effective remedy to victims of extralegal killings, all of which the Maguindanao Massacre is to date its most egregious example. Ang pag-asa po ng mga biktima na makamit ay katarungan ay dahil po halos lahat sila ay taga Mindanao at ang ating presidente po ay taga Mindanao din. Sana po sa susunod na 6 na taon na administrasyon ni Presidente Duterte ay makamit na ng mga biktima ng Maguindanao Massacre ang katarungan dahil kung hindi po, patuloy pa rin ang magiging patayan sa ating lipunan na nakikita na natin ngayon. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good afternoon to all of you.
Maraming salamat, Representative Harry Roque. The Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we refer the speech of the Honorable Roque to the Committee on Rules for its appropriate action.
Any objection? Here's none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, may we welcome the guests of Representative Erlpe John Ping Amante. They are the barangay captains of the municipality of Tubay, Agusan del Norte, headed by ABC President Israel Zoleta, with barangay captains Nelmar D. Mangmang, Dexy Mendoza, Marhina Luizon, Marcelina Masacote, Eddie Compra, and Dante Mandam.
Guests of Representative Amante, welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we suspend the session for a few minutes.
Session suspended.
Ito reply ni Sir niya, hi Con. No, I'm scheduled next week pa. Won't be able to attend session today. Sir Nita. So,
Journal.
Sessions resume. The Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we call the roll of members.
Any objection? Here's none. The Secretary General is hereby directed to call the roll of the members of the House of Representatives.
Roll call of members, honorable representatives. Abad, Abaya, Abayon, Abellanosa, Abu, Abueg, Acharon, Acop, Acosta, Acosta Alba, Adjong, Advincula, Agaraw, Agabaw, Aglipay Villar, Albano, Alcala, Alejano, Almario, Almonte, Alonte Nagiat, Alvarez Franz, Alvarez Mercedes, Alvarez Pantaleon, Amante, Amatong, Andaya, Angara Castillo, Antonino, Antonio, Aragones, Arbizon, Arcillas, Arenas, Atienza, Aumentado, Bagaw, Bagaching, Bagilat, Banal, Barbers, Barsaga, Batawil, Batucabe, Bautista Bandigan, Belaro, Belmonte Feliciano, Belmonte Jose Christopher, Belmonte Ricardo, Benitez, Bernos, Bertiz, Biason, Billones, Biron, Bulilia, Bundok, Bordado, Bravo Anthony, Bravo Marabida, Brosas, Bulot Bigtang, Cagas, Calderon, Calix Rubiano, Caminero, Campos, Canama, Cari, Casilaw, Castelo, Casa Franz, Casa Fredenil, Catamco, Cayetano, Celeste, Serafica, Cirilles, Chavez, Chipeco, Coanco, Juliantes, Cortés, Cortuna, Osalan, Crisólogo, Cuba, Cuaresma, Cueva, Dalipe, Dalog, Daza, De Jesus, De Venecia, De Vera, Defensor, Del Mar, Del Rosario, De Los Montalia, Dimaporo Abdullah, Dimaporo Khalid, Duwabit, Durano, Di, Elago, Enverga, Erice, Ergel, Ermita Buhain, Escudero, Espina, Espino, Estrella, Eusebio, Evardone, Fariñas, Fernando, Ferrer Juliet, Ferrer Luis, Ferriol, Floirendo, Flores, Fortuno, Pentebelia, Garbin, Garcia Gwendolyn, Garcia Jose, Garcia Albano, Garin Richard, Garin Sharon, Gasataya, Gachelian, Heron, Guana Cristina, Gomark, Gomez, Gonzaga, Gonzales Alexandria, Gonzales Aurelio Dong, Gonzales Fernando, Gorseta, Gulias, Hernandez, Herrera D, Hofer, Halusos, Javier, Ko, Konghun, Labad-Labad, Lacson, Lagman, Lanete, Laugan, Lasatin, Liachon, Lee, Limkaychong, Lobrigat, Lopez Benhur, Lopez Carlo, Lopez Manuel, Loyola, Macapagal Arroyo, Maceda, Madrona, Malapitan, Manalo, Mangawang, Magudadato Suarto, Magudadato Sajid, Marcoleta, Marcos, Mariño, Marquez, Martinez, Matugas, Meliana, Mending, Mendoza, Mercado, Mirasol, Montoro, Nava, Nieto, Noel, Nograles Jericho, Nograles Carlo, Nolasco, Núñez Maliñaon, Waminal, Campo, Olivares, Ong Edwin, Ong Henry, Ortega Pablo, Ortega Vini, Pacquiao, Paduano, Palma, Pancho, Panganiban, Panotes, Papandayan, Pichay, Pimentel, Pineda, Plaza, Primicia Sagabas, Kimbo, Radasa, Ramos, Relampagos, Revilla, Robapuno, Robes, Rocamora, Rodriguez Isidro, Rodriguez Maximo, Roman, Romero, Romualdez, Romualdo, Roque Hari, Roque Rogelio, Sakdalan, Sagarbaria, Sahali, Salceda, Salimbangon, Salo, Salon, Sambar, Sandoval, Santos Recto, Sarmiento Cesar, Sarmiento Edgar, Sabiliano, Sema, Xiao, Silverio, Singson, Swansing Estrelita, Swansing Horacio, Suarez, Si Alvarado, Tambunting, Tan Angelina, Tan Milagrosa, Tan Shirley, Tejada, Teves, Chanco, Ting, Tiño, Tolentino, Treñas, Tugna, Tupas, Turabi Nataman, Ti, Umali, Unabia, Ungab, Unico, Uy Juliet, Uy Rolando, Uy Bareta, Vargas, Vargas Alfonso, Vilarde, Velasco, Velasco Catera, Veloso, Vergara, Villaferte, Villanueva, Villarasa Suarez, Villarica, Villarin, Villago, Yap Artur, Yap Melesio, Yap Victor, Yu, Zamora Mar Carmen, Zamora Ronaldo, Zarate, Subiri. Mr. Speaker, the roll call shows that 207 members responded to the call.
With 207 members responding to the call, the chair declares the presence of a quorum. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we approve the journals numbers 46, dated November 21, 2016, and Journal 47, dated November 22, 2016.
Any objection? Here's none. Journal number 46, dated November 21, 2016, and Journal number 47, dated November 22, 2016, is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, may we welcome the visitors of Congressman Rico Heron of the AGAP party list. They are the chairman and the board of directors of Soro Soro Ibaba Development Cooperative, Mr. Eduardo Dimaano, Delia Dimaano, Agapita Dimaano, Alberto Burog, Ruben Coliat, Rolando Claveria, Amor Bagi, and Angelito Bagul, Chairman of Batangas Union of Cooperatives.
Guests of Congressman Rico Heron from Sorosoro Ibaba Development Corporation, welcome to the House of Representatives. The Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, may we also welcome the visitors of Congressman Mark Go, of the Lone District of Baguio. They are the teachers and students of Berkeley School of Baguio City. They are Lizelle Astudito, Domel Bocalen, and Nate Ferrer.
Guests of Congressman Mark Go from the Lone District of Baguio City, welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, in accordance with the rules governing inquiries in aid of legislation, I move that we refer House Resolution numbers 540 and 541 to the Committee on Overseas Workers' Affairs.
Any objection? Here's none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move for the change of referral of House Resolution number 490 from the Committee on Youth and Sports Development to the Committee on Rules.
Any objection? Here's none. The motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker,
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, may I request,
What is the pleasure of the gentleman from the Northern Samar?
may I request for a suspension of a few minutes?
Session suspended.
Ito na muna, bago pa. Ganito na. Ito na muna.
Sessions resume. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider House Resolution number 490 and may we direct the Secretary General to read the title of the resolution.
Any objection? Here's none. The Secretary General is hereby directed to read the title of House Resolution number 490 for consideration.
House Resolution 490, a resolution congratulating, commending the Philippine Sepak Takraw team for winning gold, silver, and bronze medals in the 31st King's Cup World Sepak Takraw Championships held in Bangkok, Thailand from October 17 to 23, 2016.
Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, I move that we adopt House Resolution 490.
there is a motion to adopt House Resolution number 490. All those in favor, please say aye. Those who are against, please say nay. The ayes have it. House Resolution number 490 is adopted.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider House Resolution number 570, and may we direct the Secretary General to read the title of the said resolution.
There's a motion to consider House Resolution number 570. The Secretary General is directed to read the title of that resolution.
House Resolution 570, resolution congratulating Republican Party presidential candidate Donald John Trump for his triumph for his election as the 45th President of the United States of America.
Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, I move that we adopt House Resolution number 570.
there's a motion to adopt House Resolution number 570. All those in favor, please say aye. Those who are against, please say nay. The ayes have it. House Resolution number 570 is adopted. Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider House Resolution number 568, and may we direct the Secretary General to read the title of the resolution.
the Secretary General is directed to read the title of House Resolution number 568 for consideration.
House Resolution 568, resolution congratulating and commending Ms. Kylie Bersosa for winning the 2016 Miss International pageant on October 27, 2016 in Tokyo, Japan.
Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, I move that we adopt House Resolution number 568 in consolidation with House Resolutions 494, 498, 504, 508, 515, 528, and 536.
there's a motion to adopt House Resolution number 568, consolidated bill. All those in favor, please say aye. Those who are against, please say nay. The ayes have it. House Resolution number 568 is adopted. Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider House Resolution number 572, and may we direct the Secretary General to read the title of the resolution.
the Secretary General is directed to read the title of House Resolution number 572 for consideration.
House Resolution 572, resolution commending Senator Emmanuel D. Pacquiao for his overwhelming victory against Jesse Vargas and winning the World Boxing Organization welterweight title at the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas, USA.
Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, I move that we adopt House Resolution 572 in consolidation with House Resolutions 492, 493, 495, 496, 497, 499, 500, 502, 507, 509, 511, 514, 516, 517, 519, 520, 524, 529, 531, 537, and 538.
there's a motion to adopt House Resolution number 572 in consolidation with House Resolutions 492, 493, 495, 496, 497, 499, 500, 502, 507, 509, 511, 514, 516, 517, 519, 520, 524, 529, 531, 537, 538. All those in favor, please say aye. Those who are against, please say nay. The ayes have it. House Resolution number 572 is adopted. The Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider House Resolution number 567, and may we direct the Secretary General to read the title of the resolution.
the Secretary General is hereby directed to read the title of House Resolution number 567 for consideration.
House Resolution 567, resolution expressing the profound condolences of the House of Representatives to the family of Honorable Joey D. Hison, former representative of the 5th District of the City of Manila during the 11th, 12th, and 13th Congresses.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we adopt House Resolution number 567 in consolidation with House Resolution 564.
There is a motion to adopt House Resolution number 567 in consolidation with House Resolution 564. All those in favor, please say aye. Those who are against, please say nay. The ayes have it. House Resolution number 567 in consolidation with House Resolution 564 is adopted. The Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider House Resolution number 569, and may we direct the Secretary General to read the title of the resolution.
The Secretary General is directed to read House Resolution number 569 in consolidation with House Resolution 543, 544, 548, 551, 559, and 569.
Sorry.
House Resolution 569, resolution expressing the profound condolences of the House to the family, to the House of Representatives, to the family of Representative Jum Jainuddin Akbar, representative of the Lone District of Basilan.
The Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we adopt House Resolution number 569 in consolidation with House Resolutions 543, 544, 548, 551, 559, and 569.
House Resolution number 569 in consolidation with House Resolution 543, 544, 548, 551, 559, and 569 is adopted. The Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider House Resolution number 571, and may we direct the Secretary General to read the title of the resolution.
The Secretary General is hereby directed to read the title of the resolution number 571 in consolidation with House Resolution 560.
House Resolution 571, resolution expressing the profound condolences of the House of Representatives to the family of Mr. Ben-Hur Valdez Lopez, father of Representative Ben-Hur B. Lopez Jr. of Yakap Party List.
The Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we adopt House Resolution number 571 in consolidation with House Resolution 560.
House Resolution number 571 in consolidation with House Resolution 560 is adopted. The Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move for the suspension of the session for a few minutes.
Session suspended. Session is resumed. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move for the election of the following members in their respective committees. Banks and Financial Intermediaries Member Albano Rodolfo. Dangerous Drugs. As members, Albano Rodolfo, Castelo Winnie, Vice Belmonte. Economic Affairs, Albano Rodolfo. Energy, Rodolfo Albano. Games and Amusement, as Vice Chairperson, Rodolfo Albano. Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability, as Vice Chairperson, Rodolfo Albano. Committee on Health, Rodolfo Albano. Committee on Higher and Technical Education, Roman Geraldine, Vice Belmonte, JC. Human Rights, Rodolfo Albano. Justice, Rodolfo Albano. Labor and Employment, Francis Abaya. Metro Manila Development, as members, Gonzales, Alexandria, Bagatsing, Fernando Olivares, Zamora Ronaldo, and Serapica. Natural Resources, Rodolfo Albano. Population and Family Relations, Roman Geraldine, Vice Belmonte, JC. Public Works and Highways, Rodolfo Albano. Transportation, as members, Zarate and Rubaldo. Ways and Means, as member, Rodolfo Albano. Special Committee on Basis Conversion, as Vice Chairperson, Sandoval. And Climate Change, as Vice Chairperson, Avaya, Vice Belmonte, JC.
Any objection? Here's none. The following members mentioned with their corresponding membership in the committee as mentioned are hereby elected. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we adjourn session until Monday, November 28 at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Session is adjourned until Monday at 4 p.m.